You ever heard of input service distributor registration under the GST law and thought, do I really need to register? From April 2025, the GST rules have significantly changed, and if you don't obtain ISD registration, it will have a significant impact on your input tax credits. Imagine this. Fast forward to the year 2029. You are undergoing a GST audit and the credits for the financial year 2025 and 2026 are not allowed simply because you have not obtained ISD registration. Obtaining ISD registration is a small step which can go a long way in saving a lot of money and time in the event of future audits. Stay with me till the end. I'll explain who should obtain ISD registration. Is the option to raise cross-charge invoice still exist, and what should you do after obtaining ISD registration? Hi, I am Pradeep Reddy, a chartered accountant with over 10 years of experience in customs duty, GST, foreign trade policy and VAT. Over the years, I had the opportunity to work with businesses of various sizes, handling their tax disputes, helping them claim their refunds faster, and also handle their whole gamut of tax compliances. Watch till the end to download a checklist containing the list of documents to obtain non-STPI registration from STPI. The concept of ISD has undergone a significant change through the years 2024 and 2025. From April 2025, ISD has been made mandatory for those taxpayers who receive invoices for input services which pertain to multiple GST numbers, and also for those who receive invoices for reverse charge transactions. For the businesses operating in multiple states, it is the need of the hour to assess whether they should register for ISD or not. If yes, they should also understand what are the compliance requirements which comes along with the ISD registration. Prior to April 2025, the businesses had a choice to distribute common credit. They can either distribute through ISD or through a cross-charge invoice from one GST number of a company to another GST number of the same company. From April 2025, such choice has been removed. Now let's understand the 7 important aspects of the ISD registration. Number 1. Who should register? Any office of a company which receives invoices for input services for or on behalf of multiple GST numbers of the same company, then such office should obtain input service distributor registration, typically head office. Number 2. How ISD mechanism works. ISD mechanism is specifically designed for those businesses which operates from multiple locations across the country. And this concept is not new in the GST. It existed even in the service tax regime. Typically, common input services like accounting, audit, IT software, etc. are procured at the head office but are utilized by the branches of the same company across the country. The ISD mechanism requires that input tax credit on account of such common services should be distributed to those branches which have availed those services. Typically, the ISD mechanism involves these 3 steps. 1. The head office obtains ISD registration. Thereafter, the invoices for the common services shall be raised on the ISD registration. Then the ISD distributes such common credit to branches who are beneficiaries to those services, and such distribution happens based on the turnover. Number 3. What happens when the services are subjected to reverse charge? First, such invoice has to be raised on the head office, which typically has a GST number in the same state where the ISD registration also has been obtained. Then, based on such invoice, the head office should pay GST under reverse charge. Thereafter, the head office should raise a GST invoice on the ISD so that this credit can be distributed by the ISD thereafter. Number 4. Cross-charge versus ISD. In a cross-charge scenario, typically the head office raise invoice on the branch offices towards common goods or services which are utilized by more than one branch. And further, such goods or services may be procured from a third party or internally generated. Whereas in case of ISD mechanism can be used only to distribute credit on input services but not for goods. And even those input services should have been obtained from a third party. Therefore, internally generated services, be it the salary cost of the employees of the head office or any other support from head office, cannot be distributed through ISD. Clarification on cross charge versus ISD. The CBIC in July 2023 has clarified that third party generated services can be distributed to the branches either through ISD or through cross charge mechanism. However, in case of internally generated services like the support from head office employees or any other internally generated service, credit on such service has to be distributed only through cross charge mechanism. How ITC distribution happens through the input service distributor registration. First, ISD raises a tax invoice on the branch to which the credit has to be distributed. Such distribution has to happen separately for eligible and ineligible credit. Further, such credit should be separately distributed under three heads, namely CGST, SGST and IGST. And finally, such distribution should happen irrespective of whether the recipient branch is registered or not and the recipient branch is engaged in exempt supplies or taxable supplies. In case excess or short distribution of credit through ISD mechanism, the ISD can issue a debit or credit note to rectify such error. Written compliances for ISD registration. Every ISD registration must file the return by 13th of the following month. This will enable the branches to avail the credit based on the auto-populated credits in GSTR 2P. Most importantly, the ITC available for a month should be distributed in the same month and it can't be carried forward to the next month. If the credit available in a month is not distributed, effectively it becomes zero at the end of the month. So therefore, it must be ensured that the credit which appears as opening balance in the ISD return must be distributed in the same month so that that credit can be passed on to the branches who have availed those services. Imagine this, you have obtained input service distributor registration and the credits are flowing to the right GST numbers. You are fully compliant and not bothered about the show cause notices. Now we have come to the end of the video. If ISD registration is applicable to you, make sure you obtain ISD registration. Inform your vendor to raise invoice on your ISD registration. Train your tax or finance team about the ISD compliance requirements. And don't forget to raise invoice from your head office GST registration to the ISD registration in case of reverse charge transactions. If you find this video helpful, follow me for more such videos. See you in my next video.